Okay, welcome to week 4. So you're going to start lying down on your back, knees bent and feet flat. And for this position, I'm going to start right away into activating arm midriff and getting into some bigger hip ranges. So we're going to start again with that pelvic tilting as we normally do. So tip your tailbone forward towards your heels, so then your lower back lifts a little bit. And then we're going to curl the tailbone up and in towards the nose. The tailbone tips forward and down, lifting the lower back. And then curl the tailbone up and in towards your nose. And tailbone forward and down. Take a breath in here. And as you exhale, and curl, think of taking all the air out of your belly. And forward and down. And exhale and curl, taking all the air out of your belly. As we do this, allow the rest of your spine to respond. So if you feel rigid at all in your mid-back or in your head and neck, you're going to let that go. So there is this response all the way up the spine. So forward and curl. Tip forward for 3. Tip forward for 2. Big breath. Exhale and curl. And once more, tip forward. Now we're just going to level out the hips. Hip bones are level with each other, heavy through the tailbone sacrum area. There should be a gap under your low back. It's enough to fit your fingertips, so not too big. Okay, so the idea now is that you keep everything really still, heavy through the back of the pelvis, and see if you can sink a little bit more into the left hip. The left hip drives into the floor, right leg comes up to tabletop. And lower that down. And then the opposite. So right hip heavy, left leg to tabletop. And lower that. So left hip heavy, right leg to tabletop. And lower. And it should feel a little bit rigid when you start, because we want to keep hip bones level and that little space under your lower back. So heavy left hip, right leg to tabletop. And lower, heavy right hip. Left leg to take. You keep alternating here, and if you can go past 90, you can bring your knee closer to your chest. Go for it. As long as you don't drop into your lower back. So keep that space, and maybe that knee can come a little closer. Should feel the front of your hips. We're going to go for 3 more. And 2. Last one, I want you to hold it. So the leg is at tabletop and you hold it. Little gap under the back. Now bring the second leg up as well. Should feel like some work there. Now lower one leg down slowly. And second leg slowly. Sink into one hip and lift the opposite leg. Second leg joins. Now this time, as you lower one leg back down, keep your rib cage heavy on the floor. You don't want to see the rib cage arch at all. So rib cage stays heavy as you lower one leg and lower the second leg. Good. So now the ribs are heavy, back of the pelvis is heavy, one leg to table, second leg joins, keeping the ribs heavy, first leg lowers down, ribs heavy as the second leg lowers down. One more each way here. So you press into the ribs, press back of pelvis to lift. Second leg joins, that's it. Heavy ribs to lower. And second leg lowers. Both feet are down. Good, bring your hands under your head now. Interlacing your hands. And start to nod the chin. We're going to curl forward by pressing the ribs in towards the floor. And then uncurl as your head comes back down. So nodding the chin, ribs press into the floor as you curl. And uncurl, head comes back down. Nod the chin, heavy ribs curling forward. And uncurl. Now here's the catch though, as you curl up, we're not going to lose that space under low back. The pelvis stays really steady, so the hip bones stay level. Space under low back, you almost want to be relaxed in the legs and lower back
Isolate that movement at the front of the body and at the ribs. Good. Now on the next one, I want you to hold it. So you're gonna curl forward, ribs are heavy on the floor, curl. It doesn't need to be a big curl as long as you get that sinking in your ribs. Little space under low back. We're gonna sink into the left hip and bring the right leg to tabletop again. Okay, hold that there, second leg joins. First leg lowers down, second leg lowers down. And again, first leg to table, heavy ribs and pelvis, second leg joins. First leg lowers down, second leg lowers down. And again, heavy ribs, pelvis, first leg to table, second leg to table, and lower down, heavy ribs the whole time, lower down. One more here, deepen your curl for this last one. One leg to table, second leg to table, space under low back, first leg lowers, and second leg lowers. And then uncurl, bring your head back down. Arms by your side. Okay, we're gonna tip the shoulders back into the floor, press your feet down strongly, lift your hips up into a bridge. Think of reaching your knees forward over the ankles, and then roll down your spine, bringing your bum back down. So press again through shoulders and feet to lift the hips, knees reach forward, and roll down the spine, bringing the bum down. Press through shoulders, feet to lift the hips, reach knees forward, roll all the way down. And once more, press through shoulders, press feet, lift the hips, and hold your bridge. And you want to, again, try to align the hip bones with each other. Make sure you're not squeezing your glutes either here, okay? So just lifted, but not squeezing. Now start to lift the arms up. We're gonna reach them back by the ears, taking a breath in. Exhale and circle around and into your body. Circle around, that's it. And lifting up and back, big breath. And an exhale to circle around and in. Good, lifting up and back. So as your arms circle, keep pressing down through the heels and make sure you're not squeezing the glutes. Okay? For 3. You should feel the back of your legs working without that extra squeeze. For 2. That's it. And once more. And bring your arms up to vertical and hold there. Start to roll down your spine, bone by bone, and bring the bum back down. Okay, hands under your head, elbows lifted again, so you can kind of see your elbows. Nod your chin, curl forward, and hold the curl. And now we're going to tip our whole body to the left. So the knees, the shoulders, the head, like a log roll, everything tips left to where you could balance without landing on the floor. Go across and roll to the right where you could balance without landing. Okay, so you're gonna stay in the curl, roll across the pelvis, across the ribs, over without landing. Nice work. Across the ribs, across the pelvis, over and balance. Good, so keep that going. And for a bit of an extra challenge, make your feet lighter on the floor. So just take away some of the weight that's in your feet and see if that gives you more connection to your abdominals. Good. And breathing naturally, just to match the movement. For 3 more. Deepen your curl if you can. And 2. Control as you turn for 1. All the way back to the center. And uncurl as the head comes back down. Good job. Okay, so we're going to roll right over to the left side. Push yourself up. And you're going to be up on elbow. So elbow under shoulder, knees and feet stacked. Okay, now from here, with your top hand, you're just going to grab the ribs. So just giving the ribs a little bit of a hug. Now let your ribs sink down towards the mat. And then push up your standing arm and lift the ribs up. Okay, so you want to feel the armpits and underarms engage. And you sink down with the ribs, push up through the armpits, and lift. Okay, so the bum stays down for now, but it'll rock. So ribs down, and ribs up, Good, and ribs down. Perfect, so keep that going and practice pushing the floor away with that standing arm, connecting to the armpits, the back of the shoulders. Good, for 3, and control down. Awesome, for 2, and control down. And 1, you're gonna lift and hold it. Adjust if you need to get the elbows and shoulders aligned. Okay, and now with this top arm, we're gonna circle down and place it on the floor. Both hands are down. Okay, ribs still lifted. Push your knees into the floor. We're gonna lift the hips a little bit off the ground. If you want, you could lift a lot, totally up to you. You wanna feel the shoulders, the underarms working, and then lower the hips down and tall through the left arm, push into your knees, lift the hips, and lower down and open. Good, so try that again. You're gonna circle down, take a breath in. Good, and an exhale to lift, lower the hips and unwind, looks good. And once more, circle down, take a breath in, press the knees, exhale and lift, and lower down and unwind. Great, okay, now lie right down on your left side. And you can lie down on your arm or grab a pillow, whatever works. And try to align the back of your head with your bum, because often our head likes to be rounded forward. So like back of head, back of neck aligned with your tailbone. All right, from here, we're gonna take the top leg and reach it long. And then reach it even longer as if it's being pulled out of your body. So the bottom side of your ribs lift off the ground. So there's a space there. Okay, from here, side of hip, we're gonna lift up to about 45 degrees and then lower down to body height. Pushing down with the bottom leg and lift to about 45 degrees and lower down to hip height. So really push that bottom leg down to lift the top leg and back and push bottom leg down to lift the top leg. And so keep that going. You don't want to scrunch too much in your waist here to lift the leg. And that's why the ribs are so important. So it truly comes from the side of the hip. And if you feel mostly kind of the front of your hip or the side of your leg, try getting your leg back in space. So push it back a little and then lift from there and see if you get more of the glutes instead of the side of the leg. You could also try kind of turning the leg in and out, and that could help as well. Good, let's go for 4 more. That's it. Pressing strongly with the bottom leg, lift for 3. Awesome, ribs up, press through bottom leg, lift for 2. And once more, press bottom leg, lift, and bring the top leg back to about hip height. You're just gonna flex and point the ankle a few times. Just flex and point without dropping the leg. So there's a bit of endurance there from the side of the hip. Ribs up and ribs back. So check on that. Point and flex and point and flex and point and flex. 4, good, and 3, and 2. Flex and hold here. Okay, you can make this big, you can make it small, but I want you to have your hand on your low back. Low back stays still. Kick your leg forward from the front of your hip. Good, and then point and press the leg back as far as you can without using your low back. Flex and kick forward, folding at the front of the hip, and then point and press back. Okay, so you can make this as big or as small as you'd like, but keep the lower back really still. That's the #1 thing. And keep that bottom leg working hard. Push it down, because that's where you get your support from. Good for 4. Try not to drop the leg below hip height. 3. Ribs up, ribs back. For 2. Good stuff. And once more, kick forward, kick back, and bend to lower down. And push yourself all the way up, back to your elbow on this side. Okay, so stay on the left. We're gonna get tall through the ribs and create that kind of hollowness in the armpit on the bottom side. This time I want you to keep your spine really straight. We're gonna push through the knees and lift the hips to a big arc up and over. And then lower back down. Okay, so rolling the shoulder back, press through the knees, big arc to lift the hips up and over, and lower back down. And each time, reset the shoulder, roll it back, press through the knees, big arc up and over, and down. Last one, rolling the shoulder back, press through knees, big arc up and over. Nice work, control, back, down. Good, okay. Now from here, you just roll right over to hands and knees. You have hands under hips, knees under, or hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Okay. And we're going to keep a little arch in the low back, but keep the upper back kind of rounded and full. So you're really pushing the floor away with your arms. And start to glide the bum back, widen the hips behind you without tucking your tail, and then come forward, just a bit over the wrist. And glide back to widen the sitting bones. Glide forward over the wrist. And glide back to widen, and forward over the wrist. So keep this going, and it should feel like you're stretching through the glutes, but you don't want to lose that arch in your low back. Try to maintain it the whole time. To truly get into the hip joints. 4 more. And 3. Okay. Forward and back for 2. And 1. Okay, take them back to the center. We're going to come down on the left elbow. So left elbow down on the ground, right hand stays flat. So your body's going to lean to the left a little bit. Okay. Now from this spot, take your right leg and we're going to kick it back, circle it up to the side, and bring the knee back down. The right leg kicks up and back, circle, and down. Right leg up and back, circle, and down, and right leg up and back, circle, and down. Now as you make the circle with the right leg, try to keep the rest of your body still, especially that left leg. Left leg stays vertical as you make this big circle on the right. 4. Get really tall in that left arm, left armpit. And 2, full range of motion for the hip, and 1. Take them all the way back down. Nice work. Okay, we're going to flip over to the right side now. You come onto your right elbow, knee stacked. From the elbow to the shoulder, get really tall, and you're going to hug the ribs to arc the ribs up. And then let the ribs fall back down. Push through the underarms, arc the ribs up, and the ribs fall back down. Pressing up the underarms, ribs lift, and ribs fall back down. Pressing through the underarms, ribs lift, and down. Excellent. So it should feel like a nice stretch and then work for the underside of your body. And it's all connected from the armpit all the way down to the side of the hip. It's like one big fascial line. On the next one now, lift the ribs up and hold. Adjust if you need to get shoulder and elbow aligned. And then with the top arm, you're going to circle around, place it down, and keep those ribs lifting away from the floor. Press to your knees to lift the side of the hips up. And then lower back down. It can be a little lift or a big lift. You are going to be slightly twisted. Get tall for the underarm, press the knees down to lift the hips, and control back down. Tall the underarms, press knees, lift hips. Down, one more, get tall for the arms,
We're going to take the top leg long to body height. And then really reach it to stretch the top side of the waist and lift your ribs away from the ground. Keeping this kind of rigidity in the spine, so you want to be very stable. Lift the top leg as you push the bottom leg down to about 45 degrees, and then back to hip height. Push down through the bottom leg to lift, and back to 45. So pressing down through bottom leg, lift, and down to hip height. So keep that going again, keeping the ribs lifted, the spine fairly rigid. But you are going to just slightly tuck your ribs back so you're not flaring them open to the front. Tucking them back a little bit and see if that gives you more connection to your glutes. If not, you could always play with your leg position, turning in, turning out, or traveling back. So you really get the glutes. Let's go for 4. Trying to quiet the side of the leg. For 3. Stop, push into that bottom leg as we lift for 2. And 1. Back to hip height. Reach long, adjust the ribs if you need, and just start to flex and point through the ankle. As you do that, try to stabilize your leg where it is. So there's some endurance there for the side of the bump. Flex, and point, and flex, and point, and flex, and point. Ribs are up, ribs are back, flex, point, and flex. Wait for 3, and 2, and hold. So foot is flexed. Press your bottom leg down and hand on low back. Kick the leg forward without letting the low back round with it. And then point to press the leg behind you. Flex and kick forward. Point and press back. So your range is going to depend on the stability of your low back. You're only going to kick forward and back as far as you can stabilize the lower back. Push down through the bottom leg, lift the side of your waist away from the ground. We have 3, and 2, and 1. Last one. Back to the center, bend your knee. Push back up onto your forearms. Knees stacked. When you get tall again, feel the hollowness and the activation in your underarms, and you try to melt any tension in the neck and shoulders here. Press through the knees, big arc of the arm as you go up and over, and control back down. So feeling this from the underarm all the way down the side of the waist and even into the side of the hip. And control down. Up to the back of the shoulder, through the underarms, and down. Last one. Press up, down your knees, up and over. And control down. Nice. Up. Back to hands and knees. Okay. So we're going to do those hip hinges again. Except this time, as you hinge back and widen the singles, swipe one arm back. I want you to use the back of your shoulder. And then come forward, both hands down. And switch, swipe. And forward, down. And sweep, swipe. It's forward, down. Hinge back, swipe. And down. Good. So keep alternating here. And when it comes to the low back and hips, again, you want to try to keep an arch in your low back and not tuck the tail. So you're really getting a stretch in the glutes. 3 more. And 2. Last one. And back down. Now come down on your right elbow. Okay, so right elbow down, left hand is flat.
Your body's gonna lean a little to the right. Now get really tall up the back of the right leg. So the right leg stays vertical, left leg kicks back, circle it around, and bring the knee back in. So you're kicking up and back, feeling for the back of the hip, side of hip, maybe some inner thigh to come in. So we go up, circle to the side, back in. Awesome, up and back, circle to the side and in. Keep that going and check on your right leg. Let's keep it as vertical as possible so you're not leaning your hips over to the right. Try to almost lean the hips to the left to help you get really tall on that left leg. On that right leg. 2 more here. That's it, and 1 more. Coming all the way back down and up onto hands. Okay, curl those toes under. You're gonna take your shoulders away from ears and pick up your ribs. So you wanna it should feel like you're hunching a little bit in your mid back. From here, we're gonna push into toes and lift the knees off the ground, get tall through the underarms, and knees come back down. Roll shoulders back, press through toes, lift, and lower. Good. And as you lift, try exhaling. And you should feel a bit of a connection into the lower abdominals. So it's connecting those underarm muscles into the abdominals, into the lower abs. Okay. And if you don't quite feel your lower abs, think about lifting not just your knees, but it's like you're lifting your whole torso up away from the ground. Good. We're gonna hold in 3. And 2. Take an exhale every time you lift. Good. And 1, lift and hold it. And see if you can widen or open your sitting bones a little bit more and create a bit more of an arch in your low back. See if you get more abs. Hold 4, hold 3, tall on arms, hold 2, and 1. And come all the way down. Nice work. Okay, we're gonna flip over now. Go to a seated position. So you're sitting up. Okay, and grab the back of your legs. It's gonna rock side to side a few times. And I want you to find your sitting bones, your bum bones. And then come back to the center and try to get them evenly weighted. So both sitting bones reaching into the floor evenly. And think of growing tall through the crown of your head. And it is going to be some work there for the front of the hips. Now from here, we're going to lean back and then try that pelvic tilt. So you're going to curl the pelvis under and then roll up, reach through crown of head, sit tall. You're going to lean back, curl the pelvis under to round the spine, roll up, reach tall, and lean back. Let's exhale, curl. Inhale to reach tall. And lean back. Exhale, curl. Inhale, reach tall. 1 more. Lean back. Exhale, curl. Inhale to reach tall. Okay, now we're going to bring your arms up. Start to lean back. Curl and try to take your time. We're going to come right down to the mat, gradually stretching the legs out long until you're lying on your back. Okay, once you're there, place your hands together, interlace your hands. And it's okay if you have to kind of adjust a bit to get there. Okay, we're going to level the hip bones again at the front. And this time, turn your upper body to the right. So the arms, the shoulders, the head. Roll across the back of your body, arms, shoulders, head, turn left. Roll across, arms, shoulders, head, turn right. Roll across, arms, shoulders, head, turn left. So keep going here side to side, but try to keep the legs really still, the lower back really still. So we're just trying to isolate the upper body. 3 more. 2 and 1. Good, come back to the middle and hands under your head. Elbows slightly lifted. We're gonna nod the chin, press the ribs down and come into that little curl again. So ribs are heavy. We've done this one before. You're gonna push the left leg into the ground and lift the right to where you can without dropping into the low back. Now when you lower, lower slow and with control, staying in that abdominal curl. Okay, so keep your eyes on the hip bones. They should not budge as you push right leg down and lift the left. So if they feel like they're gonna move, that's your cue to stop. Lower down with control. Pressing left leg down as you lift the right. And lower down with control, that's it. Pressing right leg down and lift from the front of that left hip. And lower with control. So once your leg is down, uncurl, head comes back down. Okay, now we're gonna nod the chin again. Press the ribs down and curl. This time, reach one arm forward and then the other. And I want you to really stiffen your legs. So we keep them active. We're gonna reach through the arms and legs to roll forward and sit up tall. Okay, so just like we did earlier, start to lean back. Add the little pelvic curl. Stiffen the legs, reach, and try rolling down. Nice one. Good, come all the way. Big breath here. As you exhale, nod the chin. Press through the ribs. You're gonna stiffen the legs and use your limbs. Really reach forward, like you're being pulled forward. And then grow tall through crown of head, coming up to sit. And again, we lean back. Curl the pelvis under. Can you start to zipper your lower abs in? So imagine you're pulling in and up like a zipper as you roll down. Awesome. Nod the chin, press through ribs, reach through limbs, coming up tall. Once more here, we're gonna lean back. Take an exhale and zipper through the low abs. So low abs go in and up all the way to the chest. As you roll down, big breath here at the bottom. And nod the chin, press through ribs, and roll all the way up to sit tall. Good, bend your knees, we're gonna flip over again. And this time, you're gonna lie down on your belly. So lie right down on your front. Okay, and just have your hands separated so they're by your ears. And place your forehead right down. So from here, I'm going to get you to roll the shoulders back a little bit away from the ground. And then start to hover your head so the back of the neck is long and active. We're going to start to shine the chest forward, as if there's a flashlight on the collarbones, without cranking the neck. So you're getting a bit of that upper back motion. Good. And then come all the way down. We're going to keep it really small. So rolling the shoulders back, hover just your head first. Back of neck stays long. Start to shine your chest forward. Now at the same time, gently draw your belly button into spine. So you keep your lower back out of it. The goal is that we really zone in on the upper mid back. And head comes down. Good stuff. So rolling shoulder back, hover the head. Let's pull the belly button to spine just a little bit. And as you shine your chest forward, reach it forward as if you're getting taller through the spine. And lower down with control. Once more here, rolling the shoulders back. Hover the head. Start to shine the chest forward, imagining you're getting taller as you draw belly button to spine. Good, and come all the way down. Stack your hands and rest your head on your hands. I'm going to keep my head turned so you can hear me, but you can have your forehead straight down. Okay, now from here, trying to get the hip bones level on the mat. Press into your right leg gently. We're going to lift the left leg from the base of the glutes. Okay, so think of lengthening the front of the hip, lifting from the back of the hip. Lower back down.
Press your left leg into the ground, lift the right leg from base of bum all the way through the back of the leg, and lower down. Press right, lift left. So you're gonna keep alternating. And as you alternate, zone in your attention on your hip bones. And the idea is that the hip bones stay level on the mat. And you'll quickly notice we tend to dump into the lifting side. So you just need a bit more emphasis on the side that's stable. And if you could do that, you may not feel it, but it really gets the core, the deep core muscles going. Okay, so heavy on the stabilizing side hip for 3. Good, drawing belly in gently away from the ground to keep the low back quiet for 2. And 1. Lower your legs down. Good. Okay, we're going to separate the hands again to where we were a second ago. Hover the head off the ground, back of neck is long. I'm going to draw the belly button in and reach the chest forward, growing taller, and see if that's a little bit easier this time to get into that extension. And then come all the way down. Let's try that again. Roll shoulder back, hover head. Reach the chest forward as you draw belly button to spine, and imagine you're getting taller. And come all the way back down. Good stuff. 1 more. Roll shoulders back, hover the head. We're going to draw belly to spine. Let's keep lower back quiet as we reach the chest forward. Imagine you're getting taller as you extend up in the upper back and lower back down. Good stuff. Push up all the way back onto hands and knees. And we're going to go back to that toes curled under position. Super tall in the arms. And press into toes, go into the pike this time. So bring the bum up, walk your hands into your feet, and roll up to stand tall. Okay, good stuff. So once you're standing tall, we're just gonna have our feet hip distance apart and shift your weight into the left leg. So left leg is heavy. Take your right leg back, and you wanna be on the toes, so the heels are lifted. So again, left leg bent, right leg back and straight. And you want to be in a big enough lunge that your body tips slightly forward. Okay, let's square the hips. And now start to hinge and send the left bum back in space. Press into your left heel as you come back up. So sending the bum back as you hinge. Press into your left heel as you come back up. And hinging forward, sending left bum back. Press through that left heel. So with each one, I want you to get lighter and lighter on the right leg until most of your weight's on the left leg. You want to feel work through the left one. Okay, keep that going. Bring your hands to your low back. You're going to keep a little arch in the low back the whole time. You're not flattening that part of your back. Okay? It's going to stay slightly arched. Essentially keeping the spine really straight or neutral throughout the whole lunge. Okay, 2 more. Yeah. And on this last one, go to where you can hold the lunge. Left knee should be bent in front of the ankle. Okay, we're going to bring our hands out to a T. It's going to really work the left bum. We're going to rotate. So your right arm comes down, left arm comes up. And then back to a T. And again, right arm down, left arm up, and back to a T. Right arm down, left arm up, back to a T. Keep pushing your left heel. 1 more. Right arm down, left arm up. Press into your heel and step in. Good. Shake it up, shake it up. Okay, good stuff. Other side now. So right leg forward and bent, left leg back, heel lifted. Square off your hips. Make sure your right knee is in front of the ankle. Okay, so
ഒരു
now,
പാല കൊടുക്കുறேன் ഒരുങ്ങി
so now the legs don't move, and you're gonna try just a little hinge. So your bum goes back. Press the right heel into the ground as you unhinge. Hinging back, really try to stretch that right side glute. Press right heel into the ground. And hinging forward, right thumb back. Press heel down. So essentially here, the legs don't move, the back stays with that little arch. So you're focusing on really folding at the front of the hip. Good step. Go for about 4 more and see if you can make your back leg a little lighter. So the front leg takes on more weight and it really pushes down. 3. Hinge. 2. Press heel, unhinge. Now on the next one, hinge to where you can hold it. Keep that right knee bent, majority of weight on right heel. Arms up to a T. And we're going to turn left arm down, right arm up, turn your head as well. And back to the center. Okay, low back stays still. You're turning through the upper body. Left arm down, right up. And back to a T. And here. Left arm down, right arm up. And back to a T. Once more, turning left arm down, right arm up. And back to a T. Push your right foot, coming up to stand. And shake it off, shake it off. Okay, to end off, let's do our roll down. So arms come up, take a breath in. You circle the arms around, nod the chin, and roll down the spine. Rolling down slowly, softening your knees. Let your head hang. Take a breath in at the bottom. As you exhale, push into your heels. Draw belly button to spine and roll up to stand tall. Awesome work. Great. Great job, everyone. We're all done for today. Yay. Thank you. Thank you.